Hello friends, welcome to our new video. Let's see the today's problem. The today's problem is unlucky 7. Okay, so let's try to solve this. Before that, if you are watching our video for the first time or if you did not subscribe our channel yet, then please go and subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon as well so that you can get the notifications of our new videos. Okay, so let's see the problem statement. Okay, here you can see that we have given a problem statement. The problem statement is Mahi hits the number 7. Okay, and we are interested in the integers without digit 7 in both decimal and octal form. Okay, so how many such integers are there between 1 and n? Okay, including in the input we have given a single integer n. Okay, so in this problem what we have to do, uh, we have given a number. Okay, and we have to check that if the number 7 is present uh, in the decimal and octal form of this number. And okay, so in this problem we have given the numbers from up 1 to n. Okay, any number we have given up to n. Okay, and now we have to find the such numbers, okay, which does not uh, uh, does not occur 7 in his decimal and octal form. Okay, so let's suppose uh, there is we have given the number I. Okay, let's suppose we have given the number I. Okay, so we have to check that we have to first what we can do, we have to find the decimal and octal form. Okay, so we have to find the decimal and octal representation of this number I. Okay, so we have to find the decimal and octal representation of this number I. Okay, so uh, how we can find this decimal and octal representation of this number I? So simply to find the decimal representation of number I, what we can do, we have to divide this number by 10. Okay, so that we'll get the decimal representation of this number I. Okay, and to find the octal representation of number, we have to simply divide the number by 8. Okay, so that we'll get the octal representation of this number. Okay, let's suppose uh, we have given the number 27. Okay, so how we can find the octal representation of this 27? So simply what we can do, we'll divide this number by 8. Okay, so uh, 27 divided by 8. Okay, there is a remainder is 3. Okay, and here the number remaining is also 3. Okay, so again we'll divide it by 0. Okay, then here will remain 0. Okay, and the remainder is 3. Okay, so the octal representation of 27 is 3 3. Okay, these are the octal representation of 27. Okay, so like this we have to we can find the octal representation and decimal representation of a number. Okay, so uh, I'll just remove this first. Okay. First what we can do, we have to find the decimal representation and octal representation of a number. Okay, for that what I can do, first I will create one function to find the decimal representation, okay, of a number. Okay, and inside this function what I can do, first I will check that if n mod 10 equals to 7, then what we can do, simply I will return Okay, here I will create this the boolean function. Okay, so if n mod 10 equals to 7, then simply I will return true. Okay, uh, then what I can do, and here I will divide this number by 10 to get the decimal representation of number. Okay, okay, and uh, this function is for decimal representation. Now we'll create another function for octal representation of a number. So okay, and inside this function I will check that first n mod 8 equals to 7, then simply I will return true. Okay, and then to get the uh, decimal octal representation, I will divide this number by 8. Okay, so that we'll get the decimal octal representation. Okay, and if this is not, then I will return false. Okay, here as well I have to return false. Okay, so uh, we have we create these two functions to get the decimal representation and octal representation of a number. Okay, after getting the decimal and octal representation, what we can do, simply uh, in the main function, simply we'll write the for loop. Okay, to traverse the number. Okay, inside this for loop, what we can do, simply we'll check that if the number is decimal of I, then simply हम क्या करेंगे, ये जो ये है उसको कंटिन्यू करेंगे. ओके, एंड अगेन विल चेक दैट इफ अगर जो नंबर है वो ऑक्टल है, ऑक्टल ऑफ आई, देन इसको कंटिन्यू करेंगे. ओके, सो it will check until uh, that number is decimal. Okay, okay, and after that, simply what we can do, we'll create one variable, let's suppose count, and we'll increment this count. Okay, and at the end, simply we have to print count, so that we'll get the answer. Okay, for it. Okay, so like this we can solve this problem. Okay, there is another way as well to solve this problem. Okay, so let's try to understand this second approach. Okay, in the second way, what we can do, uh, let's let's suppose we'll take the input as n. Okay, and then let's suppose we'll create one variable count and we'll initialize it with 0. Okay, and then I will write the for loop to traverse the number. Okay, and inside this for loop, what we can do, we have to we have to convert this number into decimal format and octal format. Okay, for that I can use the built-in methods. Okay, which is okay, to for uh, for decimal we can use string. Okay, and for octal we have to use to octal string. We can use these two methods to convert the number into decimal representation and octal representation, and then simply we'll check that if this number contains occurs in or not. Okay. Now, after converting the number into decimal and octal format, simply we are going to check that if the let's suppose str decimal, if str decimal is not contains 7, okay, and str octal not contains not contains 7, okay, then what we can do, simply we are going to increment the count. So simply we'll increment count plus plus, and at the end we'll print count. Okay, so we can solve this prior problem by using like this as well. Okay, so now let's try to write the code for this problem. Okay, so first what I can do, we'll take the input from the user. Okay, for that, let's suppose I will use buffer buffer input stream data, then system dot. Okay, then we take one number, integer n equals to integer dot parse r dot read line. Okay, we have taken one number as an input. Okay, now what I can do, uh, let's create the function to convert the number into decimal representation and octal representation. Okay, so first I will create static boolean and decimal. Okay, and integer, and inside this function what I can do, first I will check that if number n is not equals to 0. Okay, then if number is not equals to 0, then we'll check that if n or 10 equals to 7. Okay, then what we can do, simply we'll return true. Okay, return true, and then we'll divide this number by 10. So 10 by 10. Okay, and uh, here simply we'll return false. Okay, so we have written the function to convert the number into decimal form. Now we'll create for octal representation. So static boolean integer n. Then here as well we'll write while n is not equals to 0. Okay, then what we can do, we'll check that if n mod 8 equals to 7, then what we can do, we'll return true, and we'll divide the number by 8. Okay, and here simply we'll return false. Okay, so we have written these two functions, convert the number into decimal form and octal form. Okay, now here what we can do, I will create one Okay, count, we initialize it with 0. Okay, then what I can do, we'll write one for loop for integer I equals to 1. Okay, so we have given the number from 1 to n. So I will start from 1, then I is less than equals to n, and I plus plus. Okay, so inside this for loop, what I can do, I have to check that if number is decimal. Okay, so I will write if decimal of I. Okay, then what I can do simply, I will continue this. Continue. Okay, and if the number is octal, okay, then also we'll write continue. Okay, and here we'll increment the count. So we'll write count plus plus. Okay, now at the end, what we can do here, simply we'll print the count. So I'll write system.output println, and I will print count here. Okay. So this is the code for this problem. Okay, so let's try to run this code. Okay, so before running this code, here I will write throws IO exception. Okay, so I will give the input first 20. Okay, and let's click on run. Let's see whether this works or not. Buffer deleter, what is the error? Cannot find the symbol. Buffered, okay. Here we made the mistake, spelling mistake. Buffered reader. Okay, buffered reader. Okay, click on run. Okay, output is 70. Okay, here you can see that required output as well 17. Okay, so let's copy this sample input. Click on run. For this output should be this 30,555. Okay, you can see that output is 30,555, which is correct. Okay, now all the sample inputs are showing correct output. Now let's try to submit this code and let's see whether all the test cases will pass or not. Okay, so click on submit. Okay, here you can see that all the test cases has been passed. ओके सो दैट्स इट इन दिस वीडियो। अगर आपको वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए। ओके सो मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में।